The Tesla Roadster is going to cost $250,000, and it probably won't be delivered for another decade anyway. So if you want an affordable, all-electric alternative engineered from the ground up for an enjoyable driving experience, rather than an expensive kitchen appliance on wheels, well, the solution might be this affordable exotic from China. The SC-01 is a two-seater, two-door coupe made by Chinese sports car brand Xiao Paoche. The founders of this company say they were inspired by ultra-exclusive luxury exotic owners, but not in the way you'd think. They noticed that high-end Ferraris and Lamborghinis were hardly ever driven. In fact, when owners brought them to events, the cars would be towed around on flatbeds. That's because it's cheaper to tow a hypercar than to add miles to the odometer and depreciate its value. But this is silly, an enthusiast car that you don't want to drive? So Xiao Paoche decided to make their own exotic. It had to be just as attractive, but also usable as a daily driver or weekend toy. Durable, practical, and above all, affordable enough that you aren't scared to push it to the limit. The name Xiao Paoche, which I'm definitely mispronouncing by the way, means small sports car in English. The model name SC-01 stands for Sports Car 1. So essentially, the car is named Small Sports Car 1. Although the SSC acronym is already taken by a different exotic brand. So for now, it's just Xiao Paoche. Xiao Paoche gave their affordable exotic an electric motor on each axle to provide all-wheel drive without needing a heavy drivetrain. Instead, most of the car's weight is taken up by the battery pack. Unlike most EVs which place their battery in the floor for a lower center of gravity, the SC-01's battery is located behind the driver but in front of the rear axle, in a similar type of configuration you would see from a mid-engine sports car. The result is a better front-to-rear weight distribution, much closer to a traditional combustion performance car. It's almost the equivalent of a mid-engined EV, but without the engine, of course. This allows the driver to sit lower down in the car, granting a more engaging driving experience and an extra sense of speed. Even so, the SC-01 isn't as lightweight as other exotics. Xiao Paoche claims it has a curb weight of 1,300 kilograms, or about 2,860 pounds. But the front and rear electric motors produce a combined 429 horsepower, which is enough to go 0 to 60 in less than 3.9 seconds, which they say is a conservative estimate. Under proper conditions and with a nice set of performance tires, it can probably go a lot faster than that. It should also have a range of over 500 kilometers, or more than 300 miles per charge. This entire electric drivetrain is mounted in a tube space frame chassis, which was chosen for its affordable engineering and lightweight style. By consolidating all the weight into the mid-mounted battery pack and keeping the front and rear extremities to a minimum, all the mass of the car is centralized and creates a more responsive steering feel. The SC-01 also has inboard horizontal dampers, a setup inspired by high-end race cars. To match its pure enthusiast underpinnings, the SC-01 has an attractive exterior inspired by some of the best automotive designs in history. The round taillights are similar to a Lancia Stratos, and were apparently made in a turbine shape to pay tribute to the aviation industry. The side of the car is styled after a Koenigsegg CCX, and stretches to about 4,000 millimeters, or 13 feet in length. About the same as a Toyota 86. The front is supposedly inspired by a Lotus Evora, but personally I see some Mazda Miata and Alfa Romeo 4C in it. Xiao Paoche says their goal was to meet expectations for how a great sports car should look, by borrowing elements from past winners, but not directly copying any of them. It forms a sort of evolution of the great features and design elements that we associate with an enjoyable driving experience. The result is clean, crisp, and bright red. Although the final interior hasn't been revealed yet, Xiao Paoche says it will have a minimalist design, with tactile switches and buttons and no touchscreens. This is to keep prices lower and keep your eyes on the road. There's no need for a massive iPad on the dash if you're enjoying the driving experience. It should be noted that the prototype interior features left-hand drive and some pretty aggressive bucket seats. Personally, I think the only thing missing is a stick shift in the center console. But of course, considering the SC-01 is electric, it sadly won't be available with a manual transmission. Although that might discourage some enthusiasts, it seems Xiao Paoche determined the trade-off to be worth it to future-proof their car, with the instant torque of a modern electric drivetrain. Since the car is still in early stages of development, there's not a whole lot to learn here from the interior. But it will be interesting to see how many of these features make it to the actual production car. Xiao Paoche says they hope to keep the price for this small sports car below 300,000 won, which roughly converts to around 40,000 USD, depending on what the Forex markets are doing. This automotive startup plans to launch globally, and reservations for their first model will open in China and Japan simultaneously, but no word yet on the US market. First deliveries are expected to begin in the winter of 2023. The Chinese car industry has certainly come a long way in recent decades, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of their up-and-coming brands reach US shores in the near future. Whether Xiao Paoche will be among them is hard to say right now, but if future projects are as enthusiast-focused and drop-dead gorgeous as the SC-01 is, well, I personally can't wait to find out. Did you enjoy this video? Subscribe. Did you hate this video? Subscribe anyway. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers so I can get one of those shiny metal squares to hang on my wall. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.